This is Gabriel Gonzalez for Cage Side Press here with the promoter, the fighter, the BMF in the fight game, Mr. Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. Jorge, I'd actually like to start there. Just last year, just as a promoter, what you were able to accomplish in a space where, let's be real, there's a lot of players in the game. How do you, I guess, when you reflect on last year as a promoter, what do you think about and what are you most proud of?
First, I'll address that there is a lot of players in the game, but none of those players got the motherfucking experience, the different hats that I've worn in the space, and the hunger, drive, and the in and outs of the sport. I am literally the fucking definition of a motherfucker that started at the very, very bottom of the sport and worked my way to the top, and I know all the ins and outs about it. I've been around the game for a while. I've been in part of the biggest promotion in the history of combat called the UFC for 10 plus years, and throughout that, I fought for numerous promotions all over the world, just learning stuff. You know, sometimes I wasn't even trying to learn stuff, but I just learned things from just being in the process. So that's one thing that I think really makes our promotion stand out. Um, Also, on a big note, is that it's not just me, man. It's not. You know, I do a lot. There's a lot of things that I do. I wear many hats in my company, but it's a huge team. So I got to give a shout out, special shout out to Dean Tool and the Pensacola boys, Chris Edward Noria, Victoria Gonzalez. These people really make it happen. You know, because I have my lane, and my lane is recruit fighters, get the best up and coming talent, get the best free agents on the planet, reach out to them, talk to them, you know, fighter to fighter. Hey, this is what I'm trying to do. What are you trying to do? How much do you want? This is what we get up for. You know, that's kind of like my role. And then promote these fights, right? And a little bit of matchmaking. I'd like to see this guy here with that guy there. But besides that, there's so much more that goes on, man. So I got to give a huge shout out to my team, from getting venues, sponsors, medicals, commissions, you name it, you know, flights, all that stuff. It's a tedious task and work, and I'm just happy that I got a very strong team. You know, last year we started out very strong. We had some great fights. We had JDS versus Fabricio Verdum, and this is how I know that we had turned the major page. We had about 80,000 streamers watching it live, and after the 5 hour event, that turned into about 1 million views. So we did 1 million views in just 5 hours for a brand new ass promotion. That's fucking nuts, you know. And people could say a lot of things. Yeah, that's because your social media hyped it up or this and that. To keep 1 million people engaged for 5 hours has nothing to do with what I'm posting on my media or how many followers I can send. It's because they like the fucking product. It's just like what they're seeing. For somebody to stay there 5 hours, fucking, that's crazy amount of time, you know, and 1 million people, you know. So that was a huge milestone for us. That was a huge point where we know we're in the right direction. We got to just keep fucking chopping wood and going on this route, you know. Now we got fast forward. We got at the start of it, we had Junior Dos Santos by Benicio Verdun. We had Alan Belcher versus Roy Nelson over here. So we were doing our heavyweight tournament. Now we're at the end of it. We got Junior Dos Santos versus Alan Belcher. Alan Belcher's undefeated. Bare knuckle boxing, like 8 fights, you know. He really understands the game of bare knuckle well. He came over to do a bare knuckle MMA with us against Roy Nelson. Won a close decision. So I definitely would give the experience of no gloves to Alan Belcher. Now JDS is who he is, heavyweight champion, has pretty much done it all in the sport, and he has one win over Fabricio Verdun bare knuckle. You know, so it's such an interesting fight that every day that I think about this fight, I come up with a new, different conclusion.
I mean, look, it's shaping up to be a fun one. I did want to touch base with you again about that. You talk about when you bring in the fighters. What is that conversation like? Do you just hit a guy up and be like, "Hey, bro, like I heard you're a free agent. I got a bare knuckle fight for you. You in?" Or is there a little more professionalism to it when you're trying to get guys to join the game?
It all comes from different spots, you know. A lot of times, man, I just I'm searching on the emails and DM, you know. I'm searching a lot of these combat freaking animals are hitting me up. It's the craziest thing, you know. So I try to follow up with them. We got a lot of messages on there, so I'm trying to follow up on them. Hey, are you healthy? Have you done MMA bare knuckle? When would you like to go? How much you looking to be compensated? All them things. Blah blah blah. After we negotiate that, then I'll talk more so to like their managers, and then my people will talk to the managers, get it all on paper, and it's done. A lot of guys also hit us up, you know. Sometimes here and there I'll fly, you know, or if I'm in that city already, I go meet up with somebody, you know, get that face to face time and really figure it out what we're trying to lock in. You know, a lot of the fighters are like very excited to come over. I'm gonna say 90% of the ones that hit me up, they're like dying to get over here and just fucking throw down and put on a great show. They know we're getting a ton of exposure as well. We're not to diss these organizations or nothing, but PFL and Bellator combined, when they put on their shows and stuff on like YouTube or even a network like ESPN, or what's the other one?
The
PFL
Zone.
with using the zone, they don't get the amount of viewers that we get, and they're showing it for free. I'm showing it for free, and I'm taking way out of the freaking water. Like it's not even comparable. So the UFC is obviously UFC will always be that 3,500 pound gorilla. But we're like a solid number two, and I stand by that. I stand by that. Our views show it, our comments show it, and the action that we bring show it. We're getting very evenly matched skilled opponents to fight other evenly matched skilled opponents. So this is not like a place where you're gonna see guys getting like build up. No. We want to see the cream rise to the top. We want to see the freaking guys that deserve to be here get there. We're not giving out easy fights or nothing. So I think that's a big part of why this movement is happening. People are just coming here because one, it's the realest thing ever. You got no gloves. Two, on both sides, we're trying to match them as competitively as possible and as well executed as possible. So when these guys get in, there's nothing but fireworks. And that same recipe, we've done it since our first show, back about like 3 years ago, till right now, man. Nothing's changed in that department.
Can I ask, who do you like on the undercard? Obviously, we know JDS and Belcher, but you signed Croce Boss. Obviously, Andrew Kawani's part of the card. What are a couple of the fights that you're really looking forward to that fans should, get there early to watch when it airs?
Definitely, I would watch Anthony. I've been watching him for a while. I mean, the dude looks exactly the same as he did like 16, 17 years ago. Great shape, great cardio, and he's a fucking mean, athletic guy. He's got elbows, knees, shins, and he usually comes to put a guy away. If he doesn't, he's giving it all he's got to get that guy out. A fight that I definitely, not a particular fighter, but actually both these guys, and I just know it's gonna be the fucking fight of the night. Joe the Party versus Charles Felony Bennett.
Ooh.
This is gonna be a brawl. Yeah, maybe neither of these guys right now is ranked in the top 20 of the world and whatnot, but these guys know how to fucking fight, and they got one speed. And Felony's just nothing but entertainment from the moment he gets there in fight week. We got the cameras on that boy, because man, he's nothing but pure entertainment. So we're very much looking forward to this fight. I think this might be in the fight of the night right there.
I mean, can I touch base with you about a couple of your ATT guys? First off, your Gamebred commentator now coming to the UFC, Kayla Harrison, two-parter. One, have you guys figured out all this team captain, no team captain at ATT?
There's only one team captain. You look, for starters, you gotta ask not the supposed team captain. No, you gotta ask the chief and commander, Dan Lambert, and then after him, you ask his general, Richie Puma, who's running the show there, who's the team captain. No, I haven't been there in a while and stuff. I'm still captain over there. Sorry, Kayla. It's nothing against you or your big ass triceps and traps, but I'm the team captain, girl. You better just calm down.
I'm
Now we
assuming
can
you
just fight for it, Kayla.
I'm assuming
Not
you're
joking.
expecting her brand to grow now being under the UFC umbrella.
Forget about it. I've been saying this for years. Kayla is a fucking monster. I'll say this. There's a lot of girls that just don't go with guys because we're stronger. We're more endurance. We have thicker skulls. We produce more testosterone. It's not like the easiest ride to go with like a dude that's actually going. If you get a guy that's just not trying to go, whatever. But I see Kayla grappling with good fucking grapplers over at her gym. Guys that are not too far from her weight class, that are like right there, and guys that could actually grapple. And she's going full out, and she's fucking dogging some of these guys out. And that is so crazy for me to see, because once you get to a certain level, let's take, for example, Amanda Nunes. When she was at a gym, she was there over 10 years. She wouldn't spar like a guy that was in the 125, 135 that was in the UFC ranked. Never. Because it's too much of a, you know what I'm saying? Like it's different how men are built compared to the women. Just a guy that was maybe outside of the top 15 in the UFC or weight class below her would give her the fight of her life. And it's crazy. But I see, not in fighting but in grappling, I see Kayla grappling with guys of the same level or pedigree, and it's like fucking, I can't believe it, man. I haven't seen a girl that could smash up dudes like that in the grappling department in a long, long time, or probably ever. Guys that could actually grapple, that I look at and I'm like, yeah, that guy could grapple. He should be able to take it to her, and she's special, man.
And then a week after, obviously, UFC coming to Miami with a big card. I'm assuming you're going to be leading the party for your guy, Dustin Poirier, when he goes out there, right?
Oh, of course, man. I got nothing but the best fucking well wishes always for Dustin. Been my teammate for 8, 9 years. Beat the fucking crap out of each other for those 8, 9 years, sharpening our tools. We both kind of came up around the same time, as he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing. And it's fucking awesome, because this is a guy that I've learned a lot, and I've also bled and sweat a lot with. So I always fucking cheer with this guy all out. Obviously, I'll be in Miami rocking and rooting for my boy.
And then final question. I think fans are still like, well, like Jorge, we've heard it, maybe we've seen it. What would you say to fans who are like, are we going to see Jorge Masvidal back in some kind of combat sport soon?
I said I'm unretired, and it wasn't for nothing. You definitely see your boy with some boxing gloves this year, breaking some eye orbitals, snapping some fucking ribs, making motherfuckers piss blood from the kidneys. Because I love the sport, and when I retired, shit. After like 3 weeks, I was like, did I do the right thing? Every day was daunting on me. I was like, did I do the right thing? Do I still have more time? Maybe I need to change up certain things about my life and my pro life, and then see if I could just get 2 more years out of it. And as I'm thinking that, this boxing opportunity came across the table, and I was like, man, I always wanted to box. I got one pro fight boxing. This would be a great way to get myself back into the sport, and like I said, I love boxing. I discovered boxing before MMA. I was like 7 or 8 when I first seen it. But then when I seen MMA, that's it. Everything changed. I didn't want to do nothing else but MMA. So I would always say like boxing is like my first love, and MMA is who I got married to. So I can't wait to get in the boxing ring. No wrestling, no fucking jujitsu, no that. Just straight fucking.
Hey, I'm looking forward to man. I'll leave you with this one. For fans who have not watched a bare knuckle MMA event, what can you tell them that they should expect when they tune into your fight this Saturday, or your event, so to speak, this Saturday?
What you expect this Saturday, March 2nd, Orlando, Florida. Kia Center is the most violent show on earth. You're gonna notice the pace is different. When they hit the ground, they're just not hugging and stuff. They're actually advancing for position, trying to get to a good position and then lock it up. Because you don't got these gloves, you don't got this tape, you don't got this gauze. So it's about like 4 inches right here, right? Would be the glove. So in certain spots, in certain locks and grips, this is like very, fucking hampering. It's not, if I got your back and somebody's just like this, it's hard to choke them. When you got the hands and it's just sweat, it's like fucking very hard to stop this, the slippery. Now, when somebody can grab your glove, different story. Now, when you can't grab the glove and it's actually more like real life, the submissions are going through. That's why we see the fights hit the floor and it's not like boring chess match. Guys are just hugging. No, they're getting to it. They're getting to a good position, throwing a couple elbows. The guy gives a back. They're 100% going for that choke because now you don't have a guy just stalling, grabbing your glove. So definitely finish rates, both submissions and strikes, right through the roof. The action is usually fucking right on par with everything because when somebody gets hit with a fucking knuckle to the face and they got a swelling already, they already know if I don't get this guy off of me, I'm gonna fucking get killed here. So the pace ends up usually being fucking amazing. I would just tell anybody that hasn't watched MMA bare knuckle, Gamebred bare knuckle, I would say go do yourself that favor. Treat yourself. If you're a fucking combat fan, go treat yourself and just once, and then go write me a comment. Tell me what you think about that.
Jorge, we're really looking forward to it. Thanks again for the time. Remember, guys, March 2nd in Orlando, Belcher Dos Santos for the Gamebred MMA heavyweight title. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Jorge, have a great event. Thanks for the time, man.